overall budget. Debt service, this is how we've kind of moved around our organization and what the future looks like. About halfway through, you see 2010. We're going to reach our peak, the very top there, kind of that little cap up there, at $4 million. So out of a $40 million budget, a little more than $40 million budget, just a whisker under 10% of our budget is set aside for debt management. In other words, debt payments and principal payments to be able to pay for the work that we've been doing throughout our district. And then you see it begins to taper off and then falls off significantly out about 2023. And so that's what our financial picture looks like from our debt service point of view. District tuition rates, the red, the bottom line represents a state average. JCC is in the blue, and so you can see we continue to trend above what the state average is overall. We continue to see that trend moving forward. I have planning sessions with our Board of Trustees this week and then again in April as we set the budget and try to make a determination about where we're going to set, for example, tuition and fees. We are concerned about the fact that we don't want to cut ourselves away from the very students we're trying to help, but yet there is a cost associated with running the institution, and we have to have people here to be able to meet the needs of students. From an out-of-district perspective, we run a little truer to what the state average is overall. More and more individuals are moving across county lines, and in this case state lines, to be able to come to JCC. So we had a little bit of a bump there, but we're trying to remain competitive with our neighboring community colleges. And so as we put the budget together, we try to be sensitive to what is the out-district and in-district tuition rates for like Monroe, Kellogg, Washtenaw, and Lansing, and then also the folks down across the Ohio border. This is our budget. If you've not seen it, this is what our budget looks like this year. Again, this is not finished. This is unaudited, but this is how we set the year up. So 56% of the full burden cost of running this institution is borne by our students. 56% of the full burden cost. In an ideal world, you have a third, and a third, right? A third from students, a third from local taxpayers, and a third from the state. And this is largely out of whack. We're only getting 12% from the local taxpayers, 24% from the state, and 56% from the students themselves. So the students are the majority shareholders of this institution. They are the majority shareholder of our institution. Even if I wanted to say, well, okay, what about taxpayers? All right, you got local taxpayers, you got state taxpayers. Put 12 and 24 together, you still don't exceed the majority shareholder, the student. That's why we pay close attention to what the student's asking for with regard to customer service, support, programs, initiatives to meet their needs. They're picking up the biggest chunk of this tab of running this institution. Budget preparation, as I'd mentioned, is difficult at best, particularly this time around. We have a recession that's technically over. I don't know how this is going to shake out. It's leaving me, frankly, at a loss on how we're going to sort this out. There are some easy for you to say, technicalities around the stimulus bill that we're still trying to sort out and what that means for community colleges in the state. There was a report released from the Senate Fiscal Bureau that came out, and community colleges were on the top of the hit parade in terms of where reductions could be made for state settlement of this $1.73 billion hole. And so we're wondering how that's going to present itself. There are different ways that the state can attack our budget, so to speak, and we're engaged in legal debates about what the language of the stimulus package looks like. And so we're guessing that we're going to see somewhere in that neighborhood of 20%. The governor has already indicated that she is asking folks to make a 20% reduction in all state budget lines. My colleagues around the state are doing the exact same thing. Michigan State up the road, a conversation with my colleague there, they're on a 3-year plan to reduce 25% of their budget and looking at closing programs and laying folks off. So our focus here at JCC is that these are difficult economic times, and my perspective as I talk with the board is this is not the time to lay people off. This is the time to be able to help individuals in our community and take care of the people we've got here so we can take care of other people and perhaps even add a few more folks. So we'll see how that conversation goes with the board as we progress forward on the budget development, and I'll keep you posted about what that looks like. But suffice it to say that we have to have a balanced budget. I appreciate the work of Tom Vayner and him putting all the information together as we work with our board and preparing for this budget package. I hope to get some ideas, some general parameters from our board later this week on Thursday when we meet. And then in April, kind of a follow-up, kind of a last look at the budget before we try to finalize it. If there are any more significant changes that they want or concerns that they have, we address them at that time. And then the balanced budget must be taken to the board by the June board meeting, which is the second Monday of the month. And so as we go along, we'll be using communications. I'll try this little YouTube thing, working with our marketing department to get that out to you and try to keep you up to date on some of the key factors around that. Community connections, a few things there. I continue to be so appreciative of the work that you all do and reaching out. Despite how busy you are here at the college and the great work that you're doing here and the workload you have to carry, you're still finding time to give back to the community in lots of ways. And so you have my sincere appreciation for not only you, but also encouraging your students to get out there and provide support and assistance to the community that needs us so much. One of the things I like about the Legacy program, for example, is that there's a requirement in there that the students who are receiving Legacy funds have to give back 80 hours of service back to the community. That's pretty cool. It's a lot different than the Kalamazoo Promise, for example, but I'm very pleased to see that. But despite that, I know stories, Nancy Miller shared stories with me as well, students who go beyond the requirement just because they know that people are hurting, and giving back makes a person feel good. Our strategic plan, I wanted to share that with you with regard to the county. There are a number of meetings going on with United Way and Jackson County government to move up higher education and education generally more central to what government is doing and how best they can help us. These plans are focusing on 4 critical areas. I was down at the City Hall, the county chambers, met with the commissioners, and they presented these 4 targeted areas for the future. Advanced manufacturing is where this community wants to look at. Bioscience, alternative energy, and arts and leisure. And I share these with you because they will be looking for Jackson Community College to be able to help them out in some way. Baker College was also there in Spring Arbor University, so we're talking about a collaborative way in which we can do this together. If you didn't know it, there's a website out there called JCA, Jackson County Higher Education Alliance. My colleagues and I work together on issues just like this, and we're in discussions now about how we can try to coordinate some of these efforts that are not only priorities of the governor, but what we believe after we've had consultants in and so forth as priorities for new job generation and job retention in Jackson County. So I wanted to give you kind of a heads up on that. I wanted to share some good news with you. We just a hair short of $2,000 under Dick Wick Charities, so that's another way that we help people, help students particularly in our college community. Appreciate all of you who participated in that, and the folks who put the baskets together, and for the commitment of helping students and recognizing their difficult times that they face. We had some other activities going on. We've had donor dinners celebrated here. It's important for us. I appreciate the work of Jason and his crew and the development office there, the foundation office. In telling donors we really need their help now. Giving is down overall nationally, and it's down for JCC as well. We try to communicate with them that this is a very, very important time that they help out students, and we let them know that along the way through activities like the donor dinner. With regard to enrollment and some of the statistics around the area, let's go through those, Amanda. With regard to the billing contact hours, you can see the comparisons between last fiscal year and this fiscal year. We are favorable to budget by about 3,300 billing contact hours currently. We are also seeing more and more full-time students coming to JCC, and on an unduplicated count, we're well over 10,000 credit-seeking students, unduplicated, coming to JCC at our 3 campuses throughout the area. For the winter semester, just some statistics here you might be interested in. You can see the percentage gains of last year over this year.